Unicorns. Let's get started. Remember, if you want to tip, you can. All right, let's get started. So, crown. Obviously, you see it as queendom or kingdom, maybe ego, pride, or maybe a reward, gift. We'll find out. It's got a heart in it, though, so matters of love might be of importance. All right, let's see. Who, if you pick pile number one, press 1 in the chat. Okay, King of Wands reverse, Knight of Cups upright, Hangman. So letting go of something, emotional growth, feeling in over our heads, or maybe burnt out from something. King of Cups might be surrounding a King of Cups, so it could be a water sign, could be fire sign involved. Oh, there are two things going on. Okay. So, here's what I can tell you so far about pile 1. The King of Wands being reversed is about feeling burnt out and in over your head. It also tells me the best action is inaction. Hangman is about letting go of something and moving forward with that. And the Knight of Cups is emotional growth. So it seems like you guys have learned how to pick and choose your battles. It also seems to me like you perhaps are in a moment of like kind of burnt out with a situation. And I think you've learned and grown a lot from this situation. So inaction is an action, and it is the one you should be taking. The King of Cups is there, so, and the Ace of Wands reversed, and the Hermit's upright. There is the return of an old issue. Now, some of you, that could be the return of an old person. I don't know if I would necessarily say it's an ex. Excuse me. To me, it looks like someone who you've struggled to come to terms with. So it could be someone with like a differing opinion. It could be like a family member or a friend that like, it's not like you were necessarily on bad terms, but you're not seeing eye to eye. And the Hermit being upright tells me they needed to be alone and you needed to be alone to be able to see each other's point of view. And if that hasn't happened, then it will. Yes, adrift, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. So as I said before, this is looking more and more like an ego that needs to be dropped. Because heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? And you're feeling like the weight of responsibility. But I think sometimes if you just let things flow naturally and stop trying to control them and force them, they will naturally fall where they need to. You're going to fall in the direction that you need to go. Other people will fall in the direction you need to go. And sometimes you might fall into each other because you're supposed to. Atlantis, rapid development, excellent success. So I definitely see a lot of good things being attracted to your path. That's also probably what the crown is, which means a victory is coming to you. I think for a lot of you, it's career oriented or monetary based. It seems like there's some success coming to you, and it's going to have to do with you just staying tight and doing what you've already started. Brother and sister transformation. So again, like I said before, for some of you, there is some sort of, especially because that's right under the crown, it does look like perhaps some of you might have some issues with a sibling that needs to be worked out. Or perhaps you're fighting or had been fighting with someone like a brother and sister would, especially if you're in a relationship. That might be something that will naturally have to run its course. Diversity. What is that about? Oh, Triumph of Lies. You want to know why? So this pile kept making the same mistake over and over again, the definition of insanity. There is a situation that you just kept doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you kept arguing about the same thing or doing the same thing with this person, and it wasn't working. And even though you know that you were right, and even though that you know what you were talking about, that person wasn't receptive to it, and instead of doing the same thing, you need to do something different. Even if it requires you to swallow your ego and pride, the minute you do something different is the minute you'll get your reward. And if you've already done this, then consider you being right and getting another reward. If you haven't done this, then you'll get your first reward. If you've already done this, you're going to get a second one. So we do see the Gemini card here. Homecoming. And ritual invocation. So this is actually really good. First of all, diversity and Gemini means that you might find someone who's very similar. If this was an ex and a pain point, you'll find someone just like your ex. because there's a lesson to be learned, and this is also mirroring each other. But for those of you that it's not, this to me is about feeling safe and feeling comfortable. Ritual would be like doing spell work or just having energy of starting fresh. And Gemini and Homecoming, it could actually be Gemini energy, but to me, this makes me think of Gemini as a runner, right? And Gemini definitely doesn't ever like commit to things, but with the Homecoming and the Hearth card, this makes me feel like you're finally going to find safety in your connection and in your connection with other people, and you're going to feel comfortable. Like you're finally going to feel safe with someone or something that you didn't feel safe with previously. Period. You're going to find your safety net. I think you guys had a bit of an ego, though. I'm getting you a song. Oh my God, it stopped on the wanted in the middle. So it seems like you kept putting yourself in the middle of things or being put in the middle of things. It also seems like this pile was constantly like pulled in many directions, and you were giving to so many other people and no one was giving to you, and you're finally going to get your reward. Basically, it's time to cash in your karma chips from helping others. You're going to be helped. I have stories where angels come. When I grew up, I thought the stories were wrong. But for you, girl, I am faithful. Something so hard and a simple. Songs about fairy tales too, and there was a lot of fairy tale imagery there. Like not even just the fairy tale deck, just like the crown and stuff. So maybe you're finally going to get your fairy tale ending. Maybe y'all are going to meet your Prince Charming or your princess or something, because there's a fairy tale moment that's going to happen. You're going to have a moment that feels like you're in a fairy tale. So someone's going to kind of really make you feel special and safe. I scratched the fuck out of my leg, and it's like wounded.